So today's topic is measurement. So measurement is a part of our daily life. So measurement starts from the morning when you get up in the bed and you go to brush your teeth. You take a certain amount of toothpaste in your toothbrush. So you measure the amount of toothpaste and then you use that one. If you go to a tailoring shop to make your shirts or pants, the tailor take the measurements of your hands, your legs, and then he tells the amount of clothes, how much amount of clothes is required to make your shirt and pants. Even your mother is making coffee or tea, she measures the amount of sugar, how much is required, or how much amount of coffee is required to prepare that one, and then she can make the tea or coffee. So that is why measurement is everywhere in our daily life. So measurement, without measurement you cannot do anything. In the time of exam also, the time is given, 3 hours time is given, so that will be measured, and how much amount of question or how much you can answer, it depends on the time they will measure your you get the marks. So that is why the measurement is important. Even in the science also, scientific operations, measurements is very important. So what are the things we can measure and what are the things we cannot measure? So depends on this one. The two things are there. The thing which we can measure, and that is called the physical quantity. This is not there in this PDF file. The things which we can measure, that is called the physical quantities, and the thing which we cannot measure, that is known as that is not the physical quantities. So now what we can measure? We can measure the temperature, we can measure pressure, we can measure time, we can measure length, mass, so many things, velocity, we can measure it. But what we cannot measure the love and affection, the hatreds, that we cannot measure. Stupidity, we cannot measure the stupidity of the anything. So that is the things which we cannot measure. So they are not the physical quantity, and the physics will not deal with that things. Physics will only deal with the things which we can measure. Now next one is the unit. So now if we measure something, suppose if I ask you how much amount of rice is there, then you will reply 10. Then how will understand that 10 gram or 10 kg or 10 milligram? You cannot understand this one. So that is why you have to use the proper unit. Suppose if I say 5 gram, then you understand, or 10 grams. If you say the 10 gram, that gram is used with the 10. That gram is called the unit. If I say 10 kg, that is 10 is multiplied with 1 kg. So that 1 kg is the unit of mass. Even in case of time also, if I ask you how much time is left, then you say 5. Then what is the meaning of the 5 days, 5 minutes, 5 hours? Then 5 will be multiplied with a unit, so 5 seconds. 5 into 1 second. That 1 second is known as the unit. So like this way, there are different types of units are there. And units are also divided into two categories. So first one is the fundamental units, and another one is the derived units. So first we know about the fundamental units. And before that I want to know the fundamental things. Fundamental means mass, length, time, temperature, electric current, amount of matter, and luminous intensity. They are all the fundamentals. Why they are fundamental? Because they are very easy to measure. To measure the mass, direct measurement procedure is there. You have to take one spring balance or a beam balance. You can measure the mass. Length also, scale is there, time, clock, and then temperature. To measure the temperature, you can use thermometer. So there is a direct measurement instruments are there. So that is why they are fundamentals. And even they are not depends on the other units. Though ampere is depends on two other units that I will tell you later. Why ampere is fundamental? Because it is very easy to measure the ampere. Suppose kg, mass, they are not depends on any other thing, they are all alone. So that is why they are fundamentals. So that means the units of the fundamental quantities are called the fundamental units. And those units which are independent, cannot be derived from the other units, they are called the fundamentals. Like in English alphabet, A, B, C, D, separately they are all fundamental alphabets. So like these alphabets will combine each other and they can make different type of words. Suppose if I say school, SCHOOL. So all the these alphabets are combined together and they form a one particular words. So in case of derived units, this thing happened. So if you see here, so derived units, So derived units is composed of the fundamental units, are originated from the product and the ratios of the fundamental units. So the fundamental units, these units are helping to form the other units, and that other units are known as the derived units. Suppose if I say in this example, you can see the velocity. The velocity is derived from the distance and time, or you can say displacement by time actually. So that means meter per second. The meter per second is a derived unit. Okay. Even so many things are there, like if I say pressure is equal to pressure is equal to force per area, force by area. So force is another unit. Force is also the derived units. So there depends on all the fundamental units. And there is a difference. There is a difference between fundamental and derived units. So what are the fundamental units? Fundamental units, the units of the fundamental quantities are called fundamental units, and the units which are derived from the fundamental units are called the derived units. So examples are given, like kilogram, meter, seconds are fundamentals. It is a Newton. Newton is what? Newton is force. The force is consist of mass into acceleration is there. So that is why they are derived. Joule is force into displacement. That is why they are derived. So derived means they are consist of different type of fundamental units. They are derived, and fundamental units they are itself one, like kg, meter. They are all alone. They are called the fundamental units. So today's lesson is up to this only. What we learned here today, we learned about the introduction of the measurements, why you need measurements and units, and the fundamental units and the derived units, and the difference between the fundamental and derived units. Next class will continue. Until then, thank you.